What's up guys, welcome back to another Tackle Talk Thursday. I know it's been a minute since I've done these, but I am back and ready to talk about tackle. So stick with us and stay tuned. Okay, so today's commenter is RTH Fishing. He says, which braid to leader knot works best and why? So let's get into that, and then I'll explain to you why I use this knot, and then I'll show you a quick tutorial on how to tie it. So there's quite a few leader knots that you can tie, from your Braid to Fluorocarbon. That is a double uni knot. Then you get the FG knot, and then the one that I use is the Alberto Knot. Sorry about the dogs barking. They weren't barking about 5 minutes ago. Obviously, when the camera has to come out, all the dogs have to start barking. So the reason why I don't use a double uni is because it doesn't really go through guides super well. It's an extremely strong knot. So if you guys like that knot, continue tying it. Second knot that I actually would love to tie is the FG knot. It's a very complicated knot to tie, and it takes extremely long to tie, especially if you're on the water and you under time pressure and you just don't really have the time to tie that knot. Extremely strong, best knot. It goes through guides super well. The third knot, and this is the knot that I use, is called the Alberto knot. It is very small. It keeps your knot very tight and compact, and it goes through guides super well, and it is really simple to tie. I can literally tie that within 30 seconds and then I'm back to fishing. The only time I will put a fluorocarbon leader is on my spinning setup. So I'll run my 15-pound braid and then I'll taper it down to either 10-pound or 8-pound fluorocarbon. So what I actually do is with the Alberto knot is I take my fluorocarbon, which is your leader, make a loop. You can keep that tag in quite long, and then you take your end of your main line, you go underneath through, as you guys can see, through the loop, and then you give yourself a decent amount of line, and then basically what I do is I wrap this line around. So you hold it, you wrap, I would say you wrap it about 6 times, depending on how thick your line is. Then you got this tag end. There's another key element to this which I will explain to you now. The way you can make this knot extremely strong and look very neat, so it comes through guides very easily, is to do this. And what I actually do is I come back over those loops to make it even stronger and even more stealth. So I go over the loops, make sure that you go in between all those loops back. That's basically what I do there. So really good knot, very strong, very slick. Or you go back over your loops 6 times. The way that you came in, you have to go the same way through the loop. So find your loop, find the way that you came in. So you take your tag end of your line and you go right through that again. And then basically what you do is you cinch it down, and as you guys can see, it's a relatively neat looking knot, and then you slowly pull it. Make sure to wet it, just put some spit on it. It works really well, and then you just cinch everything tight. Very small knot, very strong knot, very small, hardly can see it, very neat looking knot. Now this is also a key element to this knot, is your fluorocarbon tag end. You must make sure to cut that right at the braid. So I use clippers for that actually, because you can get in tight and really close, and that actually prevents your line, your main line, getting tangled around it. Then with your braid, because your braid is quite slippery, what I do is I leave a 3mm or even 4mm piece of line. I would say about that much. As you guys can see, I've left quite a substantial amount of line on my braid, and because braid is so malleable, it can flex over that knot and you don't even see it. But also, like I said, braid is very slippery and it will move over time. So you keeping that little tag end actually will tighten up that knot, and it'll make it even tighter, and it'll look even better. But there you have it, and that's the knot I use. Thanks RTH Fishing for putting the comment down below that I can share which leader knot I use. Leave comments down below to you guys who wanna see more tackle talk videos. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll check you guys on another episode of Tackle Talk Thursday.